Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargame Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video and what's it all about? Well, the Monday painting video is voted on by you guys. So from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a weekly Q&A, I show you guys a host of models and you guys will vote on what you want me to paint for today's painting video. So for all my regulars here, guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so those of you who didn't see on the thumbnail properly, it's this Skaven Plague Priest special character. Absolutely fantastic model. And the fact it's a lead model, you see bits of silver shining through with a black spray. There's a common problem with lead models, but especially with, like in the book there, you see bits of silver in the robes. And because this is an old model, but bear in mind it's an old model, the level of sculpt on it is absolutely fantastic. This is one of those models that you look at, you go, oh yeah, it looks great, yeah, fantastic. As soon as a few colours start adding onto it, it really starts to pop. Really starts to pop really well. So what I'm going to do, before I start getting through wet palettes, there's a little tiny bit of gravel on his base. I'm going to get some Steelies and drab and just give that sort of like a dry brush, but it's not quite a dry brush, so a very heavy dry brush. And I'm going to come back to you again after that. Right, so straight away you can already see the base is popping off. So on the wet palette I have some Gothica brown, some Death Guard green, and I've got some white scars at the moment. White scars, Scream Skulls, sorry, at the moment. I'm going to walk down some Death Guard green, and I'm going to come in and pick out all these cloaks, all these robes, sorry. I've watered it down so much that it should just give me a very, very thin layer, very thin coat, should I say. Again, don't panic, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a little bit on camera and then go off camera and do the rest. So here we are. What I did was to run over a thin coat of the Death Guard green, and then as that was drying I came in with another coat of Death Guard green, but sort of didn't hit every area but just hit some areas, so it looks a bit brighter in some places than others. Now I'm going to come into a Screaming Skull. And the first thing I'm going to do is pick out all the bones on him. Got some bones hanging up here and the skull on top of this little bad boy here. Pick out all of that. And then I'm going to pick out the pages of the book. Already you can see this model popping off, just with a few basic colours. I'm going to go off camera and do the rest. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Gothica brown, and I'm going to pick out all the skin. Try not to get the teeth. I'll try and keep the teeth as best I can. All of that skin. Of course, I've got a teeth hanging off the top there. He's got two teeth hanging up the top of his lip, and I got that. So I did. His little feet. These little hands. Now I'm going to come in with some Mournfang brown. I'll put this bad boy right down. And I'm going to get the tail. That's all I want is the tail. Another reason why I'm watering this right down is because on this tail, see those little lines? That's really going to pop off when I come to the next part of this. Right, so here we are. Now I've got some Baylor Brown. Yeah, Baylor Brown on the wet palette. I'm going to water it down a little bit more. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in and get all of this bandy old stuff that has. It's a very nice bright brown. I'll show you the reason for this afterwards, because this is like with most lead models, there's so much little grooves and details on it. I'm going to do the rest of that off camera. Right, so now some decent copper on the wet palette, but you can use any copper paint you want. I'm going to come in and get things like the bell around his neck. All the bells hanging up here. And I'll come back to you then for the next bit. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay a bit in copper. I'm going to water it down, really water it down, because I want it like a wash now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this sensor bear a bit. The spikes on it. When I get into those little grooves and little gaps with the beaten copper. But it's really watered down, so it should just sit in there nicely. Leave that to dry for a few minutes. So now I'm going to come with some Fiston Red. This is the airbrush paint. And I'm going to just do the outside of this book. There's like a metal binding around the books, but what I want to do with this red is make the book really stand out. So when you're looking at the model from behind, it really breaks the model up. There's all metal bindings. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Mornfang Brown and a little bit of White Skull, Screaming Skull, mix them together, give me a nice lighter brown. I'm going to get his pouch. I'm going to just get his rope around his robes. Now what I'm going to do, actually need to take too much off out of the brush. Take a little tiny bit of that, and I'm going to come in, just hit the towel in little spaces. Just give me a little bit of a different sort of shade on the towel. Don't want a bit too much, because I don't want to lose that, all those little bits that go into it. Now I've got some, what was it, Stormhost Silver, is that one I used? So let's see, Runefang Steel, sorry. And I'm going to get that, and I'm going to get all these metal bindings on the book. Now I've purposely gone for a bright silver. I'll find out in a minute why. All this, the book is like a I know I don't know what it's called. What is that called around the book when it has something like that about me knocking the camera? It's, I don't know what it's called, but something like that. Or something like that. Something, whatever it's called, let me know, but I can't remember the correct name of that is now at the moment. Let's get all of that. These are some chains here. I'm going to get those as well. Now the chains already look silver because it's difficult for the black spray to hit on things like this properly. But a little bit of a once over with the very light silver is not going to hurt it. I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute. So far it's looking good. Right, so now I'm going to come up with some Agrax Earthshade. This is why I've done the bits I've done. And I'm going to Agrax Earthshade the whole entire model. Don't be shy about anything. Especially that towel, because those little lines are sitting there, and especially staff. This is gonna should give me a nice dirty, grimy look to him. Without me knocking the camera again. The only thing I don't want to hit is this little sensor bearer, the little chain on there, the ball on the chain. Everything else I want to get. And his little feet. The chain and the bells hanging off of him. The skull's a quick once over as well. And not knocking the camera again. The book. So I went with a really light silver to give me a nice little, when I put this on, it's going to give a nice little effect. They're still going to see silver, but it's not going to be bright silver. As you can see, now I need to leave that to dry. Right, so here we are. It's not quite dry yet, as you can see it's a bit shiny, but the book's dry. So I can carry on with that. So now, actually no, I'm going to go with some white scars first actually. And the first thing I'm going to do is, well, the first thing I'm going to do is just whack a little bit on the bones up here, because I want to really have that stand out. Right, so what I need to do now is an annoying part now. We have a look at his mouth. As you can see, he's got his teeth sort of half out, the other side sort of closed. So what I'm going to do, take a little bit. Try and find his teeth because they're so difficult to hit. camera's going to struggle to pick that up because it's such a small detail, but it really does stand out. Look at his claws on his hand as well. I'm not going to get the ones on the staff because I want them to look. But where this is still a little bit wet from the earth shade, it's not going to come out bright white. It's going to give me a faint little business. Right, so for all intensive purposes, this guy is about ready. So all my regulars know what happens now. See how it's still wet there, it's little shiny bits. For all intents and purposes, this guy's about ready. What that means is I can put him on the table when he's dry, off he goes. But now I'm going to take it beyond about ready standard. So I'm going to go back to my fist and red, and we're going to do some freehand. So what I'm going to do is just do some little writings on the book, some weird little shapes. So it looks like it's just, oh, I like that. It's not the best I could have done, but it still looks, you still get the idea. I'm going to leave that to dry for a few more minutes because I want to make sure that the wash is totally dry before I go to the next bit. Actually, something else I'm going to do first. I'm going to take some more of that Death Guard green. I'm going to mix it with some the Screaming Skull to give me a nice weird colour green. And because the wash is still a little bit wet, this is the time to hit it. So I'm going to hit all these edges with that mad colour. But I don't want to give a tilt wedge highlight. See what I've done there along that edge? Just want to get a slight variation. So any of these raised areas, I'm just going to hit. But the reason I'm just doing this now is because the earth shade is still wet. It would mix in and give me that dirty, grungy tone still. As you can see there, I'm just doing it on this part here. As that dries, that's going to go dull itself down because Screaming Skull is a layer paint. Fantastic. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to come in with some Nibbler Green. Now normally you dry brush this on, But I'm not, I don't know why I'm shaking it because it's just dry paint. But I'm not going to dry brush it on. I'm going to do something a little bit strange. I'm going to summon my brush. And what I'm going to do is try and just come in along here around the bits that I've painted with the water damp bit of copper. Just giving that nice little red effect. I don't know how this is going to be because it should be used as a dry brush. I was going to dry brush the his robes, but I said no. Let me just highlight them slightly and then come over this to really just make it stand out. I don't know if it looks, I'm not convinced on it, but that I tried it. As it tries, it might look okay, may not. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of Screaming Skull. I'm going to push it off my brush. Now I'm using the wrong type of brush here, but I need to get a smaller enough brush. And I'm going to give it a gentle dry brush. Because of those raised areas on the staff, the dry brush should give me a nice effect of wood. And check a little bit around the pouch as well. And this guy, yeah, I need to do his eyes really. I thought I could get away with that, but he's missing something around the face there. So I'm going to get a little bit of Mephiston red, line the brush up like that, lean it on the model, just come in, just get as best of a dab as I can. And of course, I got on the skin. I think the eye's going to be left. Not a bad save. It looks like his eyes are glowing in the shadows. Yeah, these eyes on this model is very difficult. So there we have him. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that voted this week, or last week for this week. You know, it's actually a challenge. I really do enjoy these, you know, challenges and the models that are voted on. The second thing is any thoughts or comments or anything, chuck them below, guys. I mean, I do have an old Skaven Codex army book that I could look at to get a reference to what to do on him, but you know, what's the fun in that? Now, so any comments, chuck them below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing, but helps the channel grow in a massive way. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button. And guys, if you voted for something last week and it didn't win the vote, don't panic because everything has to be painted. So guys, until next time, thank you for watching. Take it easy.